Okay, Rudy? All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, what priority should public safety place?
Well, you've heard it told, it's budgetary, but priority is very important. But I think, again, I don't want to beat up the communication, but that's exactly what I stood for, is communication between city, county, and rural. The Sheriff's Department also has to function under the same basis, and so does the County Commission. So my priority is that it's very up by the 10, but in the same vein, it requires the recipients of running that to run it for the people and not for themselves.
Okay. Do you support the road patrol grants? If you do, why, and if not, why?
I missed that.
Do you support the road patrol grants? If you do, why? If not, why?
What is the first word you...
Road patrol.
Road, oh, yeah, that one. That's a quiet one here. I do support road patrol. I support it in this vein. I lived in the rural all my life, basically. I'm now 3 miles from the city, the metropolis, in the county. But yes, I lived and was raised in a situation where when you called an officer, you didn't get them for 6 hours, 7 hours. So that's crucial in the rural community. But it's in a blend. We are a community, not just city and not just townships, but every community. There's other ways of doing road patrol than just a $25,000 grant. And I'm leery about grants, and I'll explain that if we come into that later with another question. But the point is that $25,000 would not suffice the expenses of doing that. And with the grant, you also have again, the threads I spoke about earlier, and the threads are that you become responsible to pay that overtime for that person when you start to give the service for the full year, whether the money's there or not.
Okay. What makes you more qualified than your opponent? What makes you more qualified than your opponent?
Well, qualifications, I would say probably in qualification becomes experience in other walks of life. I have had experience in this county. I've served on many boards. I've been on Housing Commission Board. I've been on founding of the Schoolcraft County EDC. I have worked in education. I wrote the first federal grant for Title I. That was a cooperative school grant of 8 school districts in the nation. I know what grants are. And I knew when the grant money started to fail is when Washington put in a national education program. The grant money began to have threads, and it wasn't as good as it was. So grants are great, but grants must be understood. Thank you.
Thank you.